Hello everyone. For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Andrew David. I'm a game developer and designer.
Loser.
And this is the introduction of a brand new game development log series. But before I get into that, I'd like to start with some quick background information. In January 2020, I announced that I'd be taking on the One Game a Month challenge, with the first month's game being Moving Day. Weeks later, after progressing on the game quite a bit and starting work on January's devlog video, I decided to participate in the Global Game Jam. This would not only give me a short break from January's game, but also give me the opportunity to fast-track February's game, as I hope to use my Global Game Jam entry for February's video. But as I arrived at the Game Jam venue, my 9-year-old computer finally bit the dust. I posted a short video announcing that. This pretty much stopped me dead in my tracks. I lost a bunch of work, including some unannounced projects, videos, and stuff like Photoshop files. I didn't lose too much game code, fortunately, since I use online source control tools for that. But not having a computer meant that I could not continue production. I had to halt everything I was working on for a few months, including games, videos, podcasts, and web projects. Halfway through the year, I acquired a temporary laptop, so I used it to work on a couple projects, but it was not an ideal situation, and I wasn't as efficient as I would have liked to be. I made a silly puzzle game where 2 or more players compete to get the most matches possible in a made-up Tinder-like app. I built a first-person controller for a space exploration game I've had in the back of my mind for a while. I made a chaotic music game called Orcheastra, where you have to manage an amateur orchestra. But none of those were as polished as I would have liked them to be, and they're not interesting enough for me to make whole videos about them. Fast forward to now, 1 year later. I finally managed to get myself a new workstation in December, and I could finally resume production on my projects. Those 11 months without a primary computer felt like forever, and 2020 was a wild ride. But it's a new year, I have a new computer, and I'm ready to give the One Game a Month challenge another shot. And so I'd like to introduce you to my brand new series, Game Baking, with Andrew David. Yes, that's me. Here's my plan for this series. Once a month, I'll be participating in a small game jam, either solo or with a team, and I'll be live streaming the entire jam on my Twitch channel. Link in the description below.
Please follow.
I'll then be taking all that footage and cutting it down into a digestible devlog video where I discuss and dissect the entire process of developing the game I made that month. The series won't have a specific posting schedule since the jams I'll be participating in take place on different days each month, but I hope to have a video up around 2 weeks after each jam. This should give me enough time to scrub through all the 30+ hours of livestream footage, put a script together, record some new gameplay footage, and edit it all together for YouTube. Here's what you can expect to see in these videos. I'll start out by talking about the game jam I participated in and a quick analysis of what the jam's theme was. Next will come a short pitch that showcases and explains what the game's concept is, how it ties into the theme, the train of thought that led me to coming up with that idea, along with some rejected ideas if they're interesting enough to share, and the ideal end result I would have wanted. Then comes the meat of each video. I'll be going over each step of the game development process from prototyping to polishing, showing you the progress of the game along the way, and explaining how I came to make each decision and why at each step. And finally, I'll be ending with a featured segment that focuses on one specific element that was shown in the video. This could be anything from dissecting how a specific mechanic was implemented into the game, detailing a game design aspect that was applied during the game's development, or explaining a challenge I encountered and how I overcame it. I'll try to make those segments as interesting and educational as possible. You can expect to see 2 videos per game, a devlog one and one that's just gameplay. I probably won't have time to do more than that before I have to move on to the next month's game, but who knows, I might revisit some of those games in the future to polish them further and make more videos on them. The very first entry is about a game I made during a local game jam called the McGame Jam 2021, which was hosted by McGill University early in January. The game is called Calamixty, and the episode for that game will be up on Friday, so stay tuned, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified when the video is up. Until then, you can actually download and play the game from my itch.io page. Check out the link in the description and feel free to leave a comment or message me on Discord letting me know what you thought about the game. If you're an aspiring game developer, my hope is that this series inspires you to work on your own game projects and maybe even pick up a few new tricks along the way. If you're a game development veteran, I'd love to hear your feedback on my work as I go along. I'll be considering these videos a two-way street, so I'm all ears. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again later this week when you check out the first video about January's game. See ya!